Because I know astrology can do like a compatibility chart. Connect. I mean, if you're getting even more of the four wisdoms, like human design connection is going to be much more specific. So, and it would just give you a lot of information on how you need to be, whether, on the very basic level, like love languages, but also just how, I guess you could see like levels of amplification of energy, or if, I mean, have you ever seen charts that are like, oh gosh, I don't care what strategies you have, it's not going to work?
I love this question and I get it all the time because, again, we're in the past, there's so many people, saying like, if you're a Pisces, you're compatible with the Cancer. Like, it doesn't work that way. And as a behavioralist, I don't believe in it. And I think it's really unresourceful because it's a belief system. Because every single relationship that comes into our life is a soulmate. Because every single relationship that comes into our life is here to teach us something so that we can become an even better version of ourselves, more aligned to our soul. Whether we take those lessons, learn them, and evolve or not, that's totally our choice. Now, the thing about a chart is there are parts of a connection chart. We call them electromagnetics, where, I have one gate. And don't worry, people, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, that's fine. Just come along for the ride. I have one gate or one energy, and then my partner might have the other gate. And these two connect in what we call a channel. That's what we feel when we feel sparks when we first meet someone, like, oh, there was a lot of sparks. They're our electromagnetics joining. Now, the thing is with that is that in many cases, because these electromagnetics are actually opposites, in many cases, the things that draw us to someone are also the things that are going to drive us away from someone because they're the opposites. So what human design does when we look at our connection chart is not only can we break the golden rule, that is, treat everyone as though the way we would like to be treated, we want to break that rule and we want to start treating people as they are designed to be treated, because we see the world as we are, not as it is. So once we understand another person's human design, then we can treat them very differently. So let me give you an example. If you're a manifesting generator, someone like me, I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator. I've got a defined will center, a defined emotional solar plexus. So I've got a big energy, I'm impactful, and I just feel like everybody wants to change the world. Like, doesn't everybody want to like go out there and completely change the world? The truth is, no, they don't. So if I'm in relationship with someone, then I assume that my partner is this way. Now, what human design does is it gives me the map of this other person. It gives us all the map of the other person so we can start to understand them. So let's say I'm with a projector. Well, I know that this person needs to be seen and recognized and invited in. I need to, understand that this person's energy certainly isn't the same as my energy. So all of a sudden, I'm not projecting who I am onto my partner. I'm actually seeing my partner for who they really are. Now, some of the really cool things that human design gives us, for example, in relationships, as I said earlier, I'm an emotional authority. So anyone in relationship with me is going to be in an emotional relationship. What does that mean? That means that someone in that relationship, let's say, gets triggered. The last thing I need to do is sit down and unpack that trigger right there in that moment, because an emotional authority is all about making decisions over time. So what happens if you have an emotional connection, if you have a defined solar plexus in your relationship, you need to have the opportunity to say, okay, I see I may have hurt you, or I'm feeling hurt right now. This is really important. I want to talk about it. Can we talk about it tomorrow? Can I just let my emotional wave, go work out? And like when I was younger, like this makes so much sense because I just at that stage was a people pleaser. I didn't want anyone not to like me. So I was like, oh, we got to fix it right. So I would say things and do things that just weren't true, instead of just letting the wave settle and then be able to go back and address whatever the thing is, the following day. So when we look at our connection charts, then we can really start to understand our partner and our relationship, because when we look at the two charts together, wherever we don't have definition, which is this colored in part of our chart, like a colored in chakra, this is going to be where that relationship is going to do its most evolution, its most work, probably where you'll find the most challenge, because there's nothing consistent in there. So that's going to be the part of the relationship. For example, I'm actually separated from my husband now, but our chart together was that we have an undefined G center, which is all about love. So a large part of our relationship has been about lovability. Like I felt like I'm not lovable. He's felt like he's not lovable. And we've gone through a lot of journeys, around that topic, if you like, and really evolved as humans and sort of come to this place where we're like, wow, I am lovable and you're lovable, but maybe we don't want to continue on this journey together. And in the way that we've even separated, it's been a very loving and supportive way, because this is the thing we've been working on for the last 25 years. So connection charts are really powerful when it comes to relationships.
And why do you think like so many, I'm just witnessing so many relationships like come to an end right now? I mean, what is your sense? What are you seeing in human design? What is your sense in just like, I mean, it just feels like the frequency is rising and like people's truths are kind of being forced, squeezed out by the energetic, magnetic frequency. What is your sense on that?
So human design, my interpretation of human design has a partial answer for this, but intuitively, that is something that I'm seeing a lot as well. And the shift is, and this is true for me in my relationship, is that we are all evolving in this place where one of us is evolving quite quickly. And then the other one is like, yeah, I want to come along, or I don't want to come along. And we get to this place where we're kind of like, well, we live in a quantum reality and I want to go there. I really want to go up there. But if we are quantumly entangled with someone who's like, I'm good, then that becomes an issue. It's just the way it works. It's the way quantum physics and energy works. And I think what I'm seeing, and I hear this sentence a lot. In the last 12 months, I've heard this a lot. I hear women say, he's such a good man. I love him. He's so kind, and this is my story almost, but, I want so much more. And I think that there is this place, and it doesn't just have to be, man, the women saying this, it's both. The divine feminine is rising in all of us. And I think we're really discovering that we can want more. We can long for more. We can choose to reach for more. And I think the challenge is that because there's nothing significantly broken, which was this is really representative of my marriage and it falling apart. The hardest part is because no one did anything significant to hurt the other one. There wasn't like someone did something, not that I love this word, wrong. We're just in this place where it's a choice that we're making to go in a different direction. And we have kids, so that choice it's a really, really, it's something that we've thought about and discussed at length for a long time, because we don't want to, damage, that's a terrible word, but we don't want to, condition our children in any specific way. Having said that, we also want to empower our children to make the right choices for them. Now, I want to put the frame of human design over this without overcomplicating it too much, is that we're moving into this new time. Human design, we call it the new paradigm in 2027. Now we hear the age of Aquarius. We know that there's a lot of significant things happening from the Mayan calendar perspective. Any ancient wisdom, it talks about this time somewhere around 2026, 2027, that there's this big shift happening globally. And a lot of them talk about that we're moving into this golden age, which is why we're experiencing so much chaos right now, because the old has to fall away. Now, human design, we're moving into a time that is going to be governed by some very specific themes: abundance, intimacy, self-empowerment, and presence. Now, what I think this is all about, I think this is why we're seeing intimacy, sexuality, how we relate to the other, that we're in this time right now that it used to be, the old paradigm was man and woman. Now we're in this time where it's, well, I'm human and I want to love another human. And we're in this time where we are making sure that we use the right pronouns, because we want to be able to recognize people as they are. What I believe, what I feel the new paradigm is going to be about is that all the labels are going to fall away, because we're moving to this place where intimacy is going to be redefined. Intimacy isn't going to be about making babies anymore, which is really how it has been playing out for the majority of history, right? That's really procreation. That's what it's been about. And now we're seeing this evidence of like, nope, it's about one soul connecting with another soul, one heart connecting with another heart. The gender piece is falling away. Less people are wanting to have children. It's not something we have to do. So as we go into the new paradigm, we're actually redefining what intimacy looks like. And I believe that that's why we're seeing this, you know, everything when it comes to intimacy is changing, and giving ourselves permission to fully be on that journey and not know the answer and, you know, run the experiment, I think is a really important place to be at this time in the planet.
Thank you for listening to the Heal Podcast. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for more empowering wisdom and inspiring healing stories. And make sure you hit the follow button on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss that one episode that holds the answer you've been searching for. And please rate and review us so that we can grow and reach more people. Thanks so much, and be well.